in the Academy of Wildman today. We're going to discuss something that's a double hitter. And I'm going to make a very good explanation about a thing. Someone asked me to deliver some evidence of what I mean. They wanted actual evidence of what I mean about how religion and God is used to deceive the masses. And they want to know how this ties into the red pill, or a different version of red pill that consists of relationships and being aware about how men are finagled and pretty much finessed out of their mind or their success. So it took me a little time. But I have finally had the ability and the time and the energy to research a certain video that I have in the description box down there below that you can check out for yourself. Now, we're going to go ahead and make something clear before you do that. This is not to bring light to this gentleman's channel at all. This is not to promote Christianity. And it really isn't about what he's talking about. See, his dynamic speech is about God's purpose for you. Right? So this video is only to reflect this lesson that we're having today. So I'm going to break down this video and I'm going to do the Morpheus thing and give you the red pill. You're going to see, I'm going to do my best, but you're going to see how I can take this video. Look at the video like the Matrix itself, like where Neo was. And you're walking around and you believe, you're a believer, you're trusting in God, you're standing by the system of man, and you're just a walking automaton going through your everyday. And so this lesson today is, when I give you the red pill, I'm going to dice up, I'm going to expose, I'm going to evaluate, and I'm going to show you exactly the true side of what this pastor is not telling you and what he's telling you to make you feel good. I've gotten several soft, weak, passive, sensitive people, especially men, who chimed in and did not like and don't like my delivery of how I speak. Some people say I'm too aggressive. Some people say that I'm too confident. Some people say I'm overconfident. Some people think that I deliver my messages as if I know everything in the world and I can't be touched. I'm just this very special dude who's very magnificent, going around, stepping on toes, beating on my chest, that sort of monkey. But I'm going to bring a light to you, and I'm going to be very simple with this, and I'm going to give it to you direct. I'm not going to change my message for you. I am who I am, and if you're soft, all right, disappear. Nobody over here in this Academy of Wildmen is soft nor weak like you. Over here, we are men over here. Over here, we don't play games. Over here, okay, talk is BS. See, a lot of people have been raised up with a milk bottle still stuck in their mouth as they're 30, 32, 35, 40, 45, and 50. I have broken away from my umbilical cord of my mother a long time ago. I learned how to play dirty in the forest with sticks and rocks a long time ago. I learned how to play Russian roulette and deal with the aftermath of facing my fears, my struggles, and my troubles as a man a long time ago. I apologize that a lot of you still got Similac on the bottom of your lip. I'm sorry that your breath still smells like your mommy's nipples. Okay, and I apologize that you don't know what a real man is. Perhaps you need to go right back to where you came from, which isn't planet Earth. Probably the land of idiots. See, the way I deliver my messages, this is probably a very, very good example here that pretty much the whole world can understand, even you who don't even know who I am. Look at me like a general in the army. Look at me like this guy who, okay, let's say you sign up for the U.S. military or Navy SEALs or something like that. And a lot of you have seen movies like this. You have seen shows, you've seen movies, you've probably been there yourself. Okay, I'm not here to play. I'm not here to be soft. When I deliver my message is because there is a mission to get a point across. Boys who are just now figuring out that they got peach fuzz on their chests have a problem with that. And some women who feel like or think that they're entitled to modify the world by removing masculine men and trying to portray that a masculine man is irrelevant and we are to be soft. We are not soft. There's no soft hats, no soft weaklings over here. If you can't handle my message, that's your problem. Go somewhere and grow the hell up. I got a mission to save lives. I have a mission to open up minds. I have a mission to enlighten those who are in the darkness, and that is no time to be playing. I have no time to be playing. So you all respect the generals in your armies. You respect the Navy SEALs. You respect these guys because you know that they're there to train normal, boyish, weak civilians to be soldiers. No, you're not going to be a soldier when you come from here, but you're going to know that life can be serious. And if you're serious about a change, you're serious about changing your view. If you're serious about getting answers. See, a lot of time people aren't serious. Y'all like to play games. A lot of times we are in our Disney-like mindset where we love our soft. You realize that in a modern day, it's not like what it used to be. Everything is push button. Everything is easy. Most things are soft. Most things are jobs. You just sit down in a cubicle and twirl your thumb and suck on some type of juice, some poisonous juice that you done put into your styrofoam cup from a fountain drink, included with model sodium glutamates and high fructose corn syrup. So you can get fatter because we're in a fat, lazy time. The problem is y'all forget about the real world. You forget about the way life really works. Life, see, to be motivated, to get things done, you got to be serious. And some people aren't serious about changing their life. They're not serious until something drastic happens, until you meet the crossroads, until life flashes before your face. Now you want to be serious. I know so many people that, here we go. There are some prison mates, some of them, where they live very dangerously. They don't go to the gym. They live lazy. They want to go around and smoke, do drugs, do damage, hurt people, that sort of thing. I'm talking about real people here. Then what happens is when the officer comes and practically locks them up because of whatever crime that they've done, now all of a sudden they're in the prison cell. They're lifting weights. They're reading books. You know, they come out like as if they're a genius now, that they know everything. They can read, they know all the algorithms, and they're at, several stages of mathematics. Why is this? Because they had to be forced to sit down and think. They had to be forced to focus on life, and they had all the time in the world to do so. That's the only time where some people wake up and get serious about the changes that they need to make in their life and realize that they've done wrong. So my messages are preventatives. After this point, should you not listen, that's on you. then the crucial parts begin. You end up spending money for therapy. You end up spending money for family counselors. You end up spending money and time on useless, wasteful subjects, putting your energy in other ideologies and other functions of the environment of the social construct, because you chose to ignore all the warning signs. Once you get to that point, you're going to need somebody to dig you out. And most times that becomes the therapist, that becomes the coaches, so-called coaches, that becomes your social construct, which consists of every type of mental help or rehabilitation. Why do I say this? Because every day, I encounter people who say, I wish I wasn't here. You have no idea what Morpheus goes through on a day-to-day basis. Listen, there are times where I have a conversation with a lady. Let me give you an example. Okay. There was a day where I went into, what was the store? It was a CVS. And I walked in the aisle, and there was some health drinks and juices that were there. And there was a young lady that walked through the aisle. Well, she wasn't that young. I just call ladies that sometimes just to be nice. She wasn't old either. She looked like more like a, let's see. She looked like she was like 27, 28 or something like that. And she grabbed a certain juice off the shelf. And I turned to see that and say, I asked her, so you like that kind, huh? And it's like, yeah, I've had it before. Because I approach people, and I'm going to make an audio to you on that as to why and how things happen. Don't worry, I got an audio on that, so we don't have to go into depth with it right now. And I noticed that in her face, she wasn't so into anything, that she was lost. And so my instincts led me to ask her, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? You look like you kind of tired. And she said, yeah, I'm just so tired with everything, and my job is heavy. And immediately tears began to roll down her face, and she began to open up like a flower, just pretty much distraught. And of course, that led to a long conversation about how life is hard for her because of her situations. All that spurned from a certain place, all that spurned from what we believe in, all that spurned what we put our energy at and on and believe in. All that comes from the zones in which we are taught to stand on, which is really quicksand. It's really quicksand. I've already told you about this, where I've spoken with a family, and their 17-year-old said that they didn't want to be here. What does that mean when they say they don't want to be here? You know what that means. You know exactly what that means. It's exactly what they mean and meant. They did not want to be here. And again, when I asked the question why, this child was raised up by a single mother. Oh, yeah, listen, this is not to bash single mothers. This audio isn't to make you convicted or to make you feel lesser of a person that you are. No, I'm telling you the facts. This is my experience. This is what I get all the time. So the in-depth research on what was going on is that the mother was putting too much pressure on the 17-year-old child. The 17-year-old child couldn't grow up to live their life. They was responsible for everything that grown woman was responsible for, because she could not procure her a decent husband, or at least a decent father figure. So that 17-year-old child felt like life was hopeless. It was hopeless. That's a serious situation right there. That's a serious situation. So why would I sit here on social media or on YouTube and play with you? I'm not playing with you, because there's too many lives on the line. There's too many people who do not have the answer, and they are suffering. So I'm not going to change my tone. I'm not going to change for you. You may be in your pillow-like soft circle bubble of a lifestyle, but someone else is getting ready to jump off of a bridge. Someone's getting ready to jump off of a bridge. Now, this next situation is going to tie into this audio that, actually video that I have in the description box below. I told you as well when I spoken to this minister, and this minister actually posted on YouTube. I need to find the connection. I just have so many connections everywhere, but I need to find it and post it down there in the description box for you to listen to and hear yourself. Where, again, they were lost. They were lost. They spent 15 to 16 years teaching, ministering to the world about a gossip. Did you hear me? Gossip. Gossip. Not gospel, gossip. Based on mythical, anthropomorphic ideas and not facts. Once they decided to do the research for themselves, finally. And their life was shot. What that means is you begin to realize the entire time you was living a lie. Who wants to feel that way? Who wants to find that out 15 years later? 15 years later, that's a wake-up call. That's a wake-up call. That's devastating for a lot of people who have who's really reliant and really depending on the stories to be true. It's a great disappointment because you put your whole life, you put your tithing in your offerings, you put your trust in the gossip. You put your whole family in it. You was raised in it year to year, generation after generation, only to find out it was a lie. But these messages I give unto you and maybe to others, you don't have to, in your word, trust in what I say. But at least comprehend that these is considered to be a breakthrough. These are food for thought. These are red pills that have the ability to at least make you think. Think sometimes. Use your thinker. That maybe there's a possibility that Morpheus is on to something. Okay, I'm an atheist. All right, I'm a Christian. Okay, I'm a Baptist. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Buddhist. I am a Muslim. I am whatever I am. I'm a Wicca. I'm whoever. But let me hear what he's saying might have some implications of something that I don't understand. He's telling me something that I don't get right now because I'm in it. The hardest people to get to see what I'm getting ready to show you in a minute is, and again, this is no bash to anyone. Listen carefully. Married people is the hard, especially married men. They are the hardest ones to let them know that the path they chosen really isn't the number one path. It's not the end all and the be all that life has to offer. When I talk to married men or just married women, just married people in general, especially men, it's a very big thing for men because a lot of men don't understand that it's a benefit for her, not for him. I'm just going to tell you like it is. I present to them that there is something else that they can decide to do with their life besides the typical, almost universal tradition. And if they are going to choose marriage, that they have to make sure that this marriage is, and here's my favorite word, the Shangri-La. that this marriage is the end all and be all. It is the beginning of his life. There's a game that some of you probably know of. It's called, I think it's called Catherine. Y'all know that game, Catherine, right? It's on PlayStation. Catherine and Catherine Full Body. When he was in his cathedral in this elevator to go up, the guy that was, I forgot what his name was, asked him a question. And the question was, is marriage the beginning of life or the end of life? Something like that. And the player had to decide which one it was. My decision was always the end of life. And why did I choose the end of life, not the beginning of life? Why did I choose that? Because what ends up happening is you're making a final choice. You're making something that you cannot break away from. See, I don't stand by the divorce laws. I really don't. And I implore people not to even go down that route. But I can truly understand how it is easy to get into this trap, but it's harder to get out of it because it's almost like saying you confirmed to this. It's not, okay, you get in a Koenigsegg and the computer tells you 2 or 3 different times, okay, sir, you want to go 120 miles per hour. Oh, you really want to go 120 miles per hour? Then you push it again. And it's like, okay, buddy, are you sure you want to go 120 miles per hour? Listen, driver, owner, rich guy, if you go 120 miles per hour, okay, there is no stopping for a while. Okay, you're going to be booming from one location to the next location, and I am not responsible for what happens to us. That's what the computer's saying. And so what ends up happening is it's easy to get there once you hit that acceleration and you there 220 miles per hour. But there is all sorts of hazards, possibilities and destructions and possibilities of devastation that goes along with that confirmation. Even though the car is built to stop, it's built to slow down, it's built for the turns, it is built to handle the road, it's built for this. But you are confirming that you want to go this fast. So when you are in a marriage, you're saying, okay, I want to do this. This girl right here, amongst the others that I've ever dated in my life, this girl who is the number one, this girl is the girl that I want to spend the rest of my life with, which is the general proposal of marriage, period. It means the rest of my life. Marriage never said for 4 years or for 5 years. Oh, let's get married until we get tired of each other. Let's get married until the finances are bad. Let's get married until you're abusive. Let's get married until. For the entire time I've been living here or alive on the soil of earth, I've never, ever, even as a child, heard a marriage vow say to have and to hold until. The only thing I heard was until death. What does that mean? That means you are going all the way. That means forget about 220 miles per hour. Let's max it out to 230, 245 miles per hour until the speedometer is in the red. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's forget about it. Just boom on through here and just hold that accelerator down until the RPM level is bouncing. The needle is like, when the car can say, I can go no faster, sir. Sir, I can go no faster. This is my top speed. This is it for you. You got that? Till death do us part. So the idiocy of a lot of individuals is this big word called ignorance. We got a lot of ignorance going on, and it's difficult because when I come to them, just like the Morpheus that I am, And they always have questions. They in a blue pill mindset most times because they're in the system and they don't know what they just did because, oh, my mom said, my dad said, we've been in it for 12 years and it's good. I'm in it. Yeah. Okay. You understand. How about this? There are some people who don't travel from city to city, town to town. All right. There's some people who stay in one place. They work at one job. They only read one book. Christians. They only study from one avenue of existence. And so they project their small circle onto the entire world and think the whole world is this way. What that means is what I just said in the beginning. You're in your space bubble. You only know so much. The space that you have in your mind is only based on your small experience. The world is a huge, massive place of experiences. So what ends up happening is the guys always have questions. They're always struggling, always wondering, always like, okay, well, this is just what I do as a man. I just provide. Yeah, she was pretty once upon a time, but here she is now, 198 pounds heavier than me. I'm only 170. Or both of y'all about 250 pounds because you both sloppy because both of you let yourself go because you want to reflect each other so dearly. Where the doctor have to deal administration with the both of you because you both in the same cesspool. Yeah, this marriage is like that too. Well, he don't work out. I don't work out. So what? Let's just grow old and just pass away like a pile of grapes together. Y'all do that lazy stuff. I see those people all the time. The problem of it is there is always going to be a high struggle. There's going to be a frustration in that marriage, which is ultimately going to lead to divorce, which is ultimately going to lead to an alimony situation or a breakup situation, or this man getting a red pill at the last years of his life. Dumb. Now, don't take me wrong. I'm not dousing you. I'm not dousing married people. I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm not bashing you, nor am I putting you down because it's not my place. The only time you become in the bracket of the donkey or Ralph the dodo bird is if you ignore yourself, you ignore all the warning signs, and you ignore your nature, in which I'm going to talk about in just one moment. Today, you're not going to have no excuse. After this audio, and you check out the video that I have in the description box below, okay, after this point, I'm going to roast you. I'm a man of my words because I've already told you these things before. And just like the general in the army, okay, they got a thing called beat your face. That means you're going to be doing some push-ups when I'm talking. All right. There's one thing for a person to listen and learn and still struggle, because we do. We have to adjust our lens sometimes. Life isn't easy. We make mistakes and we make bad decisions. But it's something totally different altogether if I give you this information. I make you aware, I open up your mind, and I give you all the links that you need, and you still ignore the warning signs, okay, then you definitely need to be roasted. You are realistically a moron, and you don't care about yourself. Number one, this is the 2020s. This is not 1930, 1920, 1940. This is at a time where women can do what you do. But yet, as they have eaten on themselves, and what that means is, I made an audio, women make it bad for other women. There is, for example, because I don't really know the exact number, I'm just giving you something to refer to. There is 80% of the women who don't mind being the modern women. If you need to understand what the modern woman is, okay, you don't understand yourself. You're not understanding social media. You're not hearing people when they're talking to you. You don't want to learn nothing. They want to be the modern woman. All right. 20% of them is on the fence. of the situation where they may have a possibility to change their life. They may have a possibility to be the different girl, or to marry, or to at least be a decent companion. So they begin to hurt and eat on themselves of their possibility and chances of being chosen or to be a qualifiable wife or companion because of the 80%. The 20% isn't fighting back enough to make a positive resistance or a change in the dynamic to give them a chance or availability to find a man of quality, or shall I say, a man of their choice, because 80% of them are ruining the game. But too many blue pill men, beta men, you are still complying to the systems that was back in 1930, 1940, 1920, and so forth, where the roles was reversed. 80% of the women were those who was on the fence or had the possibility and chances to be marriage material. Back then, 20% of it was women who wanted to do their own thing and say, if men can do it, I can do it. I'm as strong as you. You want to push over a bulldozer? I can do it too. You want to be a bodybuilder? I can do it too. Whatever you want to, go at it. But here, if you look at the numbers, more blue pill beta men, okay, are siding with the 80% of the women with their modern mindset, which destroys the unbalance, because then the 20% of the women really don't have a chance, because the 80% of the women who want to be the modern woman, do everything all by herself, I don't need a man, but expect for him to be traditional, okay, is ruining the cesspool. The pool is poisoned. It's poisoned. And then you have the majority of those same blue pill betas that still want to get married. You still want to have kids. You still think this is 1940, and it's not. It's a modern marriage in the modern time, which consists of a business. And you comply to the business based on how it is not even consistent of what marriage is really all about, what it's supposed to be, or what it was in the 1940s. So therefore, you struggle in the current day. You struggle in the modern world, and you get yourself fleeced. You get yourself broken. You get yourself in a finagled situation. And now you stuck because this girl feels or thinks she still have the options that she used to have back in the 1930, 1940. Because of how you blue pill betas are propping them up on the shelf instead of making them accountable for their actions. If she want the traditional, heartfelt, spirit-felt respect and loyalty that marriage have to offer, then she has to act like, think like, become like, transform to be the quality as what women used to be back in the 1940s, 1930s, and the 1950s, and so forth. These were the recipes and the remedies that allowed our grandparents versus grandmothers to survive forever with their, or shall I say, with your grandpa. And I'm not going to get into the diversity of options that we have, which cause the separation, because more options that you have becomes a power for some people who don't know how to be consistent and satisfied with what they have. But I've spoken about that already in an audio, so I'm not even going to talk about that. That's just another story that you're going to have to do your Dutch diligence, take your funny broken finger down there and listen. Now, this guy was talking about a speech. Actually, he was actually speaking. Okay. This man was a pastor. The video that I got down there in the description box below. Let's break it down here. Okay. They talk very good. Now, this is not to put this guy down, because he sounds very genuine. All right. He sounds genuine. And his delivery is smooth, but the whole point about this is to give you an example and to give you facts about what I talk about. You talk about a guy who's in a space bubble, and he says several triggered things that you all will be emotional. First of all, people who talk about God and religion and life and all these sort of funny things, they go at it emotionally. This is why I brought up me being the general to you. This is why I tell you my delivery is hardcore and it's progressive and it's strong. That way you can see the difference, how I talk versus this beta. Yeah, I said it. Versus this beta that I got down there. Okay? That way you know this person over here is trying to emotionalize me. This person over here is serious. Morpheus, okay, is not going to BS with you. I'm not going to play with you, and I'm not going to patty cake with your feelings and go about your modern day programmed, connected to the matrix self. I'm here to wake you up with a glass of water. I'm not going to sit up here and tap you on your shoulder. Oh, wake up. Hey, you need to wake up. Hey, wake up. Dang, you need to wake up. No, I'm going to say, wake the hell up with a glass of water and wish you would jump, because I'll be waiting I wish you would. Go ahead. I'm going to wake your ass up, and I'm not going to be kind about it either, because we don't have time to be playing around. Being patsy is soft, is days gone past. The time for talk is done. Now listen how this dude talk. God said, and I do believe in soulmates, and soulmates is this, and God said, and he said. There's an audio that I gave you. First of all, let's talk about something here in the beginning. Okay? Let's be frank, let's be real, and let's be transparent with this. As what he said, let's be transparent. Rule number 1. God is not a gender. I told you this in one of my... See, if you are a senior in the Academy of Wildman, I should not have to tell you this, but I guess, check this out. When you begin to listen to my audios and you go down, when I talked about the Noah's Ark, the Noah's Ark is the beginning, the sheeple, begin from there, and you go up and you pick on these audios that I have available, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. God is not a gender, it's an energy. But if you hear this pastor, first of all, he keeps saying he, God's purpose, he said, his realm, his idea, he. And I'm standing back listening to this guy because I was referred to this audio. Actually, I did my research on it, but someone gave me an idea on several videos of pastors and preachers and those who are broadcasting emotions to finagle the environment and people. Now, it's an old video, but that was the best one I was able to latch onto as a very good example, because it does a double whammy. Again, red pill and God at the same time. What a wonderful subject. I can really do some good explanation on that. Wonderful. So what he starts off with in this video is talking about, first, what they got to do first is make you feel good. And how does this guy do that? Listen to how he talks. He's a smooth operator. He almost had the ability to convince me when he first got on the stage talking, soulmates, and some of you are, he used a key word for you. He said, destiny people. Destiny people. Destiny people who do not want to feel like they are a part of the plot. Who does not want to feel special? Oh, this might be for some of you destiny people. I never called any of you out here who's listening to this audio or in this Academy of Wildman a destiny person. I call you a Neo. Neo wasn't a destiny person. He was learning how to learn to believe in himself, to trust himself and his own abilities. He was not a destiny person. You're not a destiny person where this is automatically going to be your destination. It is a choice. It's not something that's going to be placarded on you from the beginning of your existence. Oh, you're a baby. God knew you before you was born. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to get to that in just a hot second. Oh, I'm going to break this down for real. For real. So he calls them destiny people. So he breaks down your walls there. Now your ice is broken down. Now you feel soft. You're like, ooh, destiny. Now, half of his crowd was female. Well, most of his crowd was female. Some of them was beta men. If you listen, they're clapping in their hands and they, woo, yeah. Oh my God. And then the comments, women. Listen, the comments were women. And most of them older, or around the age of 32, 33 years old. In the red pill atmosphere, in the manosphere, okay, that's the danger zone. If I was a woman and I was past my prime and I spent my 20 years, that is my years when I was 20 something and up, playing games, drinking, hopping, being around guys who were no good, got pregnant by 2 different people, right? Smoked weed, got into some trouble, jumping around town, sleeping in beds where I did not deserve to be in and did not need to be in, did not want to be in, but I was in anyway. I think I feel kind of good too. Somebody come around and tell me, you know what? You got a second chance. You are a destiny person. You got a second chance. So of course the girls will be screaming and saying, yay, woo, oh, right, soulmates. Okay, talk to me, pastor. Come lie to me, because I want to feel good about what you're saying. When Morpheus, he's not teaching me. He's not teaching me to feel good. He's just too direct. He's too hard. He's too real. I want you to soften me up and tell me that I'm a destiny child, that I have a soulmate somewhere. Milm, if you are 32, 33, you're 40 and up, and you talking just now, you got a soulmate, you got a problem. You have a problem. Because I can't speak for every other blue pill men. Men will accept pretty much anything. Especially, I've learned a lot. I've learned that men, I got an audio that's coming. Let me write this down because I'm gonna have to keep this. I think I already have it anyway. I think I already have it. It's called Men Need to Respect Men. Yes, be looking out for that. Men need to respect men. In that, men will sleep with their own brother's girlfriend. Men will sleep with their best friend's girlfriend. Men will throw themselves in the ditch in order to get him some pig back. All right. They will do that. So just because you are 30 something, 40, so, oh, I found me a man and we've been together for 12 years and we're together. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Morpheus. I found my soulmate and we're married today. Do you know who you married to? I just told you. That doesn't mean that you're special because he decided to marry you. Men will throw themselves to the swine any time of day because it feels good to do so. That doesn't mean that you're the chosen one or you're special, ma'am. Now, put myself in that situation, would I choose you? Hell no. Because you know why? I know how old you are and I have the pick of the litter. I have options and I got choice. If I'm going to be with somebody, I want a girl in her prime. I want her when she's 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 and nothing more than that. If she's older than that, we got a problem. She needs to exit stage right. Exit stage right. Because I know something that a lot of these blue pill betas don't know that decide to marry you and others is that, I've got to be nice. Because you ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready. You're not ready. Because then you're gonna start crying. Oh, he's just too hard, and oh, he's crazy, Morpheus. I can't believe you're talking like that. Oh, I'm gonna put something hateful down there in the comment box. I'm gonna tell my father. I'm gonna tell my husband what you're saying. I'm gonna get you banded. I don't like this. I'm gonna give you a thumbs down. I just can't handle it because you're telling the truth. I can't handle it. Madam. I know cars. Trust me, I know car. If you really want to compare a woman, compare it to a car, which is very, very simple. She's not a car, but look at the mileage on it. All right. I want my car with as little mileage as possible. which will increase its value, which means the leather is fresh. Do you know who Tom Likas is? The leather is fresh. All right. The electronics still work. The plastic isn't warped. The steering wheel isn't full of everybody else's fingerprints all inside of her cave. The older she is, the more mileage she has on her tachometer. I'm a man of means and of value. I can choose, I can buy, I can purchase. I'm not going to go to the car lot and choose an older car unless it is quality, unless it is unique. Do you know car collectors? Some of y'all women don't. Car collectors, they want a car which is special. If the car have high mileage on it, the car is special. It's not made like that anymore. Have you ever heard men say women aren't made like they used to be? She may be an older lady, maybe 32, 33, but she may be classic, smart, great. She kept herself together. She's unique. She haven't been around town flopping. She just got older. Didn't have too much. She just got older. That doesn't mean that she has less quality. The problem is we know something that some of you girls want to keep top secret. You have more men than we have women on a general basis. On a day-to-day basis, you can outpace. Okay, yes, I'm a high quality male. Sure, I can go out there and probably get 3 girls right now and we can just go have a good time out in New York City. Sure, I can do that. Fine. Yeah, I mean, I can stand there and act like I'm some type of mandingo or pimp and all. Yeah, we can have all the fun we want to, but it's nothing compared to what you can do just as an average Jane. You can go to Starbucks and sit there and tether as many men as you want to in a day. In a day, if you wanted to. So the longer you live, the longer you grow, the longer you are loose, because people make dumb decisions when they're in their 20s. They make dumb decisions. Smart women make good decisions when they're in their 20s, but it's very rare. She's rare. So that means your lackadaisicalness, the bad behavior that you have done, and your loose mind and body, or even legs. Okay. The door was a reciprocating, what do you call that? A carousel or a carousel. It was opened and closed several times before I came into the scene or before I decided to come along and buy you. I'm not going to purchase something that has been overrated, overdone, nor overused or heavily used, because it's going to damage my future endeavor. Is going to be a problem for my stability. It's going to be an issue for my endurance in the future. I've met some guys who would not listen to me. I told them they would buy a truck. And because this truck looked good and has a good paint job and nice, it have a lift system and the wheels look good, they'll say, man, I'm going to get this truck. And I'll evaluate it. And I look at the tachometer and it has like 200, 300 something thousand miles on it and stuff like that. And they'll say, man, I'm going to take this truck out of town. Yeah, man, I'm going to head down there to Tennessee. And I think I'm going to have a good trip. And they in Ohio or Illinois somewhere. And there's the south side of Tennessee. I can't think of what the city is. And the trip would be, I'm not going to have the accurate assessment of how many miles it is. I'm pretty sure you know how many miles it is from Illinois or Ohio to Tennessee. But I'll say, buddy, don't do it. It's not a good idea. You just got this truck and it has high mileage on it. There's some damage. Don't take it there. Don't do it. You know, you should wait, get you another vehicle that's a lot newer than that. And at least you can do the work as you go along if something goes wrong with the newer vehicle. We got problems and flaws. Women have their issues, yes, but the less of the problems that the less mental illness that she can bring in the relationship, the more damage that she's been through in drinking, drugging, being with all kind of unnecessary men or aggressive bad boys, the better chance you might have. But instead, he's like, no, man, I want to drive this thing. I just can't wait. And he gets stranded. The engine overheats. the transmission starts slipping because he think he can actually go out there and haul something because it's a brand new truck, or because it's brand new to him. It's brand new to him. It's brand new to him. She is brand new to him. A 33-year-old will be brand new to me. Every 33-year-old right now will be brand new to me. I don't know you. You're brand new to me, but you're not brand new. There's going to be some nicks and some knacks eventually. But a lot of men will say, okay, let's do this anyway because I'm a man and because she's as old as I am. It's a good idea. I'm not even going to get into that because some of you have problems with it. Because a lot of you men, it's almost like playing. It's almost like playing rugby or on contact football. You know, talking real game and smack. Oh man, I can win, man. Yeah, I'm tough, man. I'm bigger than you, Morpheus. You're a small dude, man. And then you get tackled and you lying on your face. Then I'm reaching my hand down like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. Let's go. And I'm like, let's go. Let's we got to get back in the game, man. We got to prevent this person from grabbing this ball, man. They getting ready to, they're only a couple of, they're a couple of feet away from the goal line, man. You're like, nah, man, I can't do it, man. I'm cool, man. You just, you knocked the wind out of me. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you said you was tough. Let's keep it going. Get man up, rub the slobber off of your chin. Okay, tighten up your shirt, fix your helmet because you need two of them because your head is too big, or so I say too small. Yeah, too small, microscopic. Let's get moving. See, there is something that we're not paying attention to. What's going on in the world? There's a shift going on, and the shift is a knowledge that we need to learn how to accept. Let's get on to the additionals of what the pastor said in this video that you're going to watch down there below. Most of everything that he was talking about is God's purpose, God's vision, God's intentions, not yours. Right? He began to talk about it's God's plan. God has a plan for you to have a soulmate. The soulmate, he began to talk about, is chosen by God. The soulmate is chosen. You don't choose your soulmate. God chooses a soulmate. All right, which is the major part of his speech. Then we can talk about how God is very intelligent and God knows all these things. And he says this, God knew you before the creation of the world. The same sort of jargon, programmed, systematically implemented anthropomorphic ideas spewed from a human's perspective. And it doesn't make sense, and it sounds very, very stupid. Yeah, I said it, stupid. God has chosen a soulmate for you from the very beginning of the world. Now, wait a minute. Okay, did God anticipate feminism? Does God anticipate when there is a aircraft that is created and it goes up in the sky and it comes down and pretty much obliterate everybody that's on board? You see, now this is going to make some people a little bit uncomfortable. I know you don't like talking about it. I told you, I'm not going to be soft with you. If you want softness, go somewhere else. I keep it real over here. If you want some enlightenment, open up your ears and learn something of what I'm saying. First of all, he already hooked you by saying you are a destiny people. And now he's hooking you further to talk about God's purpose. So now you are deviated from your accountability. That means God is only waiting for you to get right and to get together. Then he's going to bring you a soulmate. Basically, that's what he's saying. Get yourself together, and then God's going to bring you a soulmate at the right time. You don't want the soulmate when you are out of control, when you're not in the right frame of mind, when your life isn't well together. Well, that's nothing but red pill ideology. But you got to be the best version of yourself. We've been talking about this forever. When I talk about being the best version of yourself, having your mind in the right place, having your life together, getting yourself on the right track, that's a no-brainer before you get into a relationship. But what does this have to do with God, as he is referring God to a gender, meaning him? His purpose. Okay, so if you really want to go deep, let's go deep with this. If that's the case, then wouldn't God put you in a proper position so you can be there with your companion or your soulmate? No, think about that for a second. If we are blaming God for everything, if it's God's fault, if God is waiting for you, and God is so magnificent, wouldn't God put you in a position to get the opportunities? Would not God give? Okay. Oh, this is a joke. Wait, let me take a drink on this one. Hold on, hold your horses. Hold on before I dive into this, because I have to take my time with this one. All right. This is what bleeds in over to the red pill. This is the difference between masculine men and betas. This is what I mean by calling this guy beta. And those who are like, oh yeah, he's right. I believe, hallelujah, he is exactly right. All right. This is the wall right here. Let me describe this big barrier between me and him, or you and him, or red pill and this guy, why he's a beta. Because women who are on the decline, listen, women who are on the decline of their SMV, they passed their prime. They're past the years of being healthy and fertile. They already passed their 20s and they're reaching 30, 33, 36, 37 and all that. Okay. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, I want to settle down. I want to find me a mate. I want to be married, and I want to automatically find a husband. So what ends up happening is, by this time, there's going to be a point where she gets tired of the bad boy. Some people call him the F boy. She gets tired of the jerk. She gets tired of running around, sleeping and waking up in places where she don't belong. So where is she going to find herself? In the recycle bin. Where's usually the recycle bin places is one of the major places is churches. She's going to be in a church. So this beta, yeah, I said it. It's kind of difficult for you to accept him being a beta the way he talks. It's going to be kind of a conflict in your mind, because when you listen to his broadcast, when you listen to him talking, you would think that he has his life together. His mind's in the right place. But this is what I mean is, you don't know. He doesn't know because of his experience in life, because of him being a pastor or minister for 15 or so years. So he's used to thinking in the circles that he think. There's a difference between being the owner of a car and being a mechanic. Oftentimes, owners do not understand a mechanic, which is a big conflict. That's why some mechanic shops have to have insurance. And they are careful about working on certain types of people's car, because they are the driver and they're the owner of the car, but they don't understand what the mechanic is doing. Sometimes it's like the individual who is they're a patient. They don't understand the doctor. They don't understand his jargon. They don't understand his intelligence or his knowledge of the body, but yet it's their body. The car is your car. There's nothing better you can do for yourself but to be the owner and the mechanic. There's nothing better for you to do or to know about yourself to be to own your body. Of course you do. You can't say the owner of your body, but okay, you're the owner of your body and you're your self-doctor. You self-medicate yourself. You self-fix yourself. You self-meditate. You self-concentrate. You do what you can. There's nothing better than that. So at this particular point, he's a bus driver. He's not the mechanic. As far as I'm concerned, he's in back of the bus, by the way he's talking. Oh, soulmates. And I met my soulmate in a church. Is what he talks about. He said he's met his soulmate in a church. He met he's a church convention or something. I think he said something about a church. He sat next to her and held her hand. And they went dating afterwards, and he wanted to ask God several times if she was the one, that sort of thing. along those lines. Okay. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm just going by my memory. So I had to look at it earlier to bring this to you. You're going to click on it and look at the whole video, or at least pieces of it, and understand what I'm saying. Okay. So, okay, so that's going to be the Shangri-La. You know, that's going to connect you with this girl who's obviously going to be in a position where she's looking for somebody anyway. Sometimes, okay, then he says something about, well, she was in the same situation as I was. She was waiting just like I was waiting. That's supposed to be some type of special miracle from the sky. This dude don't know anything about women at all if he's talking that BS. And it sounds good the way he's talking about, well, it's not all about just chemistry. You just go around, you can have chemistry with 5 or 6 different people. Yeah, that sounds great. Now, that sounds great with that type of idea. But, sir, he's not looking at nature itself. It is good to have somebody who you connected with spiritually or internally, and the flesh is not going to be there forever. But this is not equated to God. If it was equated to God, we'd have a different dynamic in our environment. God is not going to help the 80% of females who aren't looking for the 80% of men. In reverse, they're looking for the 20% of men, while the 80% of men are looking for the 100% of women. It's an unbalance. It's not going to work that way. Think about it. 80% of women want 20% of men. 80% of men want 100% of women. But the 80% is ignoring the 80% of men because they want the 20%. You got me? So therefore, there's that 80% of men are left to their own devices. They are struggling. They don't get them any donkey dunk. They don't have a girl who is a friend, who has that friend to be capacity of a companion, who has the potential to be a marriage partner. Who is responsible for this? He talks about it is God's destiny. He talks about, well, you got to be on your purpose. Well, duh, you're going to be on your purpose if you read Peel. These are very kindergarten things, but he laces you real easy. Not only with the languages that he uses, but with the idea that this is God's idea. This is God's concept. God is responsible for this. You don't want God to bring your soulmate at the wrong time. Oh, so, okay. All right. So how about this? There's a girl I know who was 20 something years old. I have a good friend of mine who really wanted to get with this girl. This guy is pretty good. He's a decent dude. And he had a crush on this girl. He really was fascinated by her. Right? She spent that time with the bad boys. All right. She was all over town. She ended up with 2 kids. And her children is what slowed her down, because children usually slow women down. Okay. The only thing that slows them down. Thank heavens. And she calls him up. He shows me the Facebook. He shows me their connection. He shows me the text messages and everything. And she wants to get back with him all of a sudden. Now she wants to comply. Now she wants to be serious. Now she wants to be in a relationship with this guy that I know of. So if you're doing what this pastor tells you to do, that's speaking to you on this video that I got connected down the bottom, and you are one of these so-called I don't like to think believers, I want to go with the program individuals and allow these emotions, because he speaks through emotions. He knows how to talk. He just told you. The way he's talking to you is to appease. He's a good spokesperson. He's been doing this for 12 to 15 years. Like he said, he's been a minister for that long. He knows how to get you hooked into this. It's a no-brainer. Okay, if you buy into the program and you're like, oh, yes, I believe this is just so great. You're right. I'm going to wait. I'm going to just go ahead and mind my own business, stay on my purpose and on my grind. And God, here we go. God is going to bring her to me. Don't go looking for her. God's going to bring her to you. Don't go looking for her. God's going to bring her to you. Okay, buddy, you are still a part of the 20% of men, because 80%, listen what he said. One of the last things he said was be on your purpose. All men are saying that. The manosphere is saying to find a purpose and be on your purpose. That women are going to be there. That is not an element of God. It's an element of women, not God. You're not finding, oh, y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this, but you know what? I don't care. Every time you say, I don't like it, I'm going to say, I don't care. Morpheus, I don't like it. I'm going to say, I don't care. I'm a sergeant here. Beat your face. Do your sit-ups. Go for a jog. Do the gauntlet. Like I said, do, or get the hell out. I don't need weak soldiers over here. I don't like it, Morpheus. Well, I don't care. You don't like? I don't care. She's not your soulmate at that time. She is 80% of the women who is looking for the 20% of men. And you put yourself in that higher value bracket by staying on your purpose and doing what you need to do anyway to focus on your task and to be the man that you know you should be or you can be. But you know what? If you are just a regular person, she's not going to look for you. These are 80% of women. She's not going to look for you whether you are soulmate material or not. That has nothing to do with God. That has something to do with them. That's a matter of fact, not a matter of God's destiny for you. Oh, God has a vision. He says, oh, God is very smart. God knows about all these things. Oh, then why is it 80-20? Get your Barabbas, rusty, smelly, smokified yellow beard the hell up out of here and stop talking stupid. Take your crease suit and go oh, he's already preaching to the sheep. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I forgot. Yes, he's already preaching to the sheep. Go somewhere and preach to the sheep. There's no sheep over here. We're lions. We hunt. We do what we do as men over here. It's easy for y'all to be deceived. This is not to bring hatred towards him nor his video. This is an example. Although it's an older video, people are still thinking like that today, that all they have to do is sit there and God's going to bring them the woman of their dream or the soulmate of their dream. There was a lady, and I think I talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it again. There was a lady that I saw on social media. Listen. She is 42 years old. Listen carefully. 42 years old. And she claims to have finally found a husband to be with her for the rest of her life, to get married. And she said she's glad she waited that long. She's happy that she waited. God finally brought her a man. I'm sorry, I don't have to know this guy, but he's a penguin. He's a penguin. Like Patrice O'Neal said, he said it best. He's a penguin, and you are enjoying that you married this penguin. Because me, I can't speak for every other type of blue pill beta, but me as a guy, you're 44 years old, you're done. You're finished. No. The most you ever going to get out of me is probably 30 minutes of a donkey dunk, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm going to tell you goodbye, if you even worthy of that. I'm not going to sit here and put a ring on your finger. Listen, I'm not going to go to the car lot and buy a old busted Chevy Cavalier with 230 miles on the speedometer and say, I'm going to keep this car for the rest of my life and there's no other car that I have. Are you out of your mind? No, if you're going to be there, I'm going to have a garage full of other cars. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. I'm going to have a garage full of other cars. I'm going to be a Jay Leno. How about that? I'm going to be a Jay Leno because I'm not going to drive you as a daily driver for the rest of my life. Are you stupid? No, man. No. Calm down. Listen, put your teeth back in your mouth and put your teeth back in your mouth. Glue your wig back to your bald scalp and shut the hell up. Think about that. It's just that logical. It's that simple, men. You're going to go to the car lot. You're going to buy a busted up Chevy Cavalier with 230 miles on the tachometer, and you're going to keep this thing for the rest of your life. It's going to break and fail on you. And how does this happen? All right, let's go through the biology. Let's go to science, and let's go to the facts. Let's get to the facts first before you get to your feelings. Okay, or you get an F. All of them are Fs. Facts, feelings. Women are usually great, best, wonderful, easier to get along with, pliable, sensible, respectful, giving, nurturing, understanding, have a lot of ability, have energy, youthful, fertile, forthgoing, compatible, well, at least sort of compatible, depends on how young she is, and is in the ability to be a long throw. What that means is have longevity, have a life ahead of her, a future. In her 20s. In her 20s. I'm saying 27 and younger, because I know there's some people that hit that threshold. 27 and younger. She has something to offer. She's still got a little bitty baby face going on. Okay. She still got some curves there. She may have some wrinkles here and there, but it can be ironed out with going to the gym, taking care of herself, doing well for herself, right? Her hair can still grow to be real. Some of you don't like that. There's still something to offer a man. There's something to work with. Once she hits that threshold and she start getting older, I already told you in the beginning. Okay, are y'all ready? Okay. Let's say I am 25, right? Morpheus is 25 years old, right? And I did my dating. I may have had, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 or more women, or more, I don't know, in my lifetime at 25. Dated them. Some of them I wanted to wife up, or there was a misunderstanding or argument. Yeah. But for her, no. It's 2 times that and some. 2 times that. And not only is it 2 or 3 times that she's been around or had opportunities, it's still going to be so after she's 25, where she's still going to get the gusto like that. As to myself, I still have to struggle, work hard, and do the best that I got to be the best version of myself in order to attract a woman. She don't have to be the best version of herself. She don't have to, because men will take anything. How about that? They'll take anything. So what is the disadvantage and what is the advantage after she is past her threshold? And I finally say, well, I think this girl is my prime mate. When she gets with me, there's nothing to offer. Again, I keep referring you to that audio that I made because it still makes sense and I can't break it down to you. On this one, when I said no juice to offer him left, no juice to offer him, no juice to offer him. It's an audio. There's nothing to give left. There's a little bit left in her gas tank. There's a little life left in a busted up Chevy Cavalier with 230 miles. There's a little life left with a diesel who've been working for a company with 400,000 miles on the tachometer. There's still a little life. You can still use it for daily farm equipment. You may be able to drive this maybe 10 miles and back. Yes. You can get in a Chevy Cavalier and drive it to the store and drive it back and you'll be done with it. But I can guarantee you she can't go to the gym with me. She is not going to go golfing with me. She's not going to go skating with me. We're not going to do mountain climbing together. We're not going to go skiing together. We're not going to go for a long jog together. She's not going to go out with a long conference meeting together. We're not going to stand in the airport terminal, talk, have a conversation, eat coffee, jog over here, go to this convention center down there, walk a couple of miles, do my training that I usually do. And she's standing there training herself without her saying, I'm too tired. My back hurt. My feet hurt. I don't want to do it. My shoulders hurt. I need to get my hair done. I need to get my nails done. My face ain't right. My clothes ain't right. My pants ain't right. I don't feel right. I don't feel like this isn't a date. Over and over and over and over again. She will not be able to last because she is a high mileage, busted Chevy Cavalier with 230 miles on her speedometer. And then all of a sudden you get this moron pastor that want to come up here and say, oh, you need to wait for God to bring you your soulmate. Oh, she's my soulmate after she's past her prime. Get your donkey out of here. Get your funny looking. Listen, go leave. Leave before you get embarrassed in front of everybody. Leave. It don't make sense, and it's silly, and it's senseless. It's senseless. Because he's talking, listen, let's get on his page for a second. You're talking about a God who's supposed to know you before you know yourself. Get the freak, shut up. Just shut up. Oh, so you're going to, okay, so this God is so great. You're going to give me somebody who's already used, but she's tailored for me. He began to talk about the story of Adam and Eve. You know, God had to put Adam to sleep and make Eve's rib from Adam. Okay, so you telling me, all right, okay, let's do this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay, all right, okay. If God were to do that for Morpheus, it's okay, Morpheus, I'm going to put you to sleep and I'm going to take your rib and make an Eve for you. Because that's what this pastor was saying. You know, you got to be the best version of yourself, and you're going to be talking to yourself. It's a reflection of yourself. It's a spirit thing. It's not a physical thing. It's a spirit thing. It's not a physical thing. It's a spirit thing. It's not a physical thing. Okay, sir. Okay. All right. Now you must be talking about Trinity then. I'm not Neo, but you're talking about Trinity. Even though Trinity is Neo's girl, but that means I would have a girl that's like Trinity. In this case, you're talking about somebody who is there, somebody who will be willing to ride with you. Someone who, when you're like, okay, I'm gonna get in the spacecraft and I'm gonna go down there to, what's that, Zion or something like that. And she's holding his hand like, let's go together, honey. I'm gonna be there with you. Okay? But this Trinity isn't somebody who's going to have high mileage on her. Can't. Because she won't be accepted. Oh, God's going to give you exactly what you need. She's your soulmate. Okay, so I'm going to wait for God to give me somebody with high mileage. Get your... I don't want it. How about that? How about that? Because you know what we have now? We got girls who got Facebook. They got Instagram. They have 50 boyfriends in their back pocket. They got 50 other guys on their friends list. Okay, they've been in the college dorms upside down, under, over, and around. They think they know too much. They're packed up with PhD and a master's degree. She's not compatible. And that's 80% of them. And the audio that I made for you called, what's it called? Your Woman is Not Your Woman. That wasn't, okay, check the title out. That wasn't to tell you that the woman that you with now is not your woman, because I don't know. What I mean is, there's usually a one-of-a-kind type of chick that really gets your bones going, that really makes a difference in your life, which could be likened to a soulmate, but she is special where she lines up properly in your world without all the unnecessary jargon and the buying and the selling in the business contract called marriage, or the business contract called the social engineering that we have today, because it's a give and take type of thing. When women are looking to survive, men are just simply looking to find a companion, a decent companion who is compliable, sensitive, nice, cooperative, and able to make a bologna and cheese sandwich without burning the damn thing. No man wants this woman later in his life. You know what it's going to take to make this happen? I'm going to tell you right now. It's not just a spiritual thing. The woman, just like the man, have to be in incubation. What's incubation? Okay. When this so-called funny guy was talking about how God takes the rib from Adam and makes Eve, that means she's in incubation. What is the incubator? And he said something stupid. Said, well, she's inside you. You know, get the... I'm glad I wasn't there. I would have threw a book up there and said, boo, boo. Man, you were out of your mind. And walked out. I'm done. You ain't my pastor. Whoever taught you this shit, you ain't got it straight. Anyhow, incubation would be mothers raising their children properly. Incubation is grandma pruning this young girl to be a woman or to be a wife. Incubation is when a society is giving women the option and the availability and the power and the initiative. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? In order for her to be the wife or the woman that she can be. Yes. So therefore, she's in incubation. Years ago, women was in incubation. We'll talk about a God thing. God made, okay, you want to be funny? If it was God, God made it proper for women to be a proper mate or a companion for men when the time was right. Now, they don't have any guidance. I got another audio. It's called Grandma is Gone. I'm going to go with the details in that. Grandma is gone. Check that out. Grandma is gone. Okay. What that means is there's no incubator anymore because the mothers are saying, no, go get your career. You don't need a man. Don't depend on him. Do it all by yourself. And then this leads us to another audio that I made called, again, your woman is not the one. And another one was called, in a real man's life, there's only one special girl. That's what that is connected to of what I'm saying now. Okay, you'll get a lot of what I'm talking about now into that one. Anyhow, so there's no incubator anymore because the incubator is so low. It's so small. It's so, what do you call that? It's rare. Finding that special someone is rare. And then he wants to teach you, this minister that I described you to. He wants to teach you and tell you that you have a soulmate. Okay, then that means everybody's not going to have a soulmate then. That means we're stuck. You know, sorry, men. I'm sorry. You're no soulmate for you. There's no Valeria for you. There's no Valeria. You won't get the I guess you got to get the leftovers. I'm sorry. That means you got to wait for the girls to turn 33, 34, 32, already have a child. She got more degrees than the thermometer and no common sense. Okay. She don't know how to be compatible for you or make a decent bologna and cheese sandwich. But hey, that's all you got, buddy, because God knows everything and God is smart. And God knew you before you was born, before the beginning of the creation of the earth or whatever. You know, before the stars, before the craters and the rocks collided against each other concerning the Big Bang theory. And now you're stuck with women who aren't compatible for you. That sounds like great intelligence to me. You know, God is intelligence. God knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, You know what? Okay, y'all, you ready? Now, you ready? All right, okay, check this out. There is a thing that women are doing that us men need to start practicing. That's what I said. The audio was men need to respect men. See, when I'm talking, I'm not just talking for myself. This isn't I'm not crying about not having a companion. I don't give a damn. I can take care of my own damn self. You understand? I'm good. I'm fine. If God say, well, Morphe, you don't have a companion. Okay, sure. All right, take you, your sons, and your stars and disappear. I'm good where I am. Bye-bye. I'm doing good. I don't need you. Let me stop. Because y'all not ready. Y'all not ready for me to go there. I don't want its mistake anyway. Yeah, I said it. I don't want God's mistake. Don't want it. I don't want a hazard in my house. I'm not going to be paying for its mistake, or a girl who have already been railroaded several thousand times and prepackaged and made up and say, here you go, Morpheus, finally. This is your leftover. God loves you. Here you go. Say hallelujah on your way out of the door. No, sir. No. I had to put that out there. So here it is. I vouch for other men. There are other men out there who don't know this. There are men who aren't getting love or compassion or even respect. Men are invincible to these women. Oh, so God created 80% of the women to be invincible to the 80% of men. They are only visible to the 20% of men. They all want to relate a man to who's in Hollywood somewhere or playing basketball. Ooh, you see this guy on TV? I want my man to look just like him. I never heard too many men say they want their woman to look like Beyonce. I never heard too many men say that. They may say, oh, she's attractive, but he won't go seeking for somebody that looks like Beyonce, because we are realists. Men are real. We face the facts and say, well, there's not too many men that look like women that look like her. Because we know what time and day it is. His vision is based on what is and what's possible and what can be done. So men have learned a long time ago that he can't always have his cake. He can't always have things his way. But women, on the other hand, are very unfortunate in their delusion. And so men are becoming aware of women's hypergamy and aware of her directives, where she don't realize she's on a track like the Titanic, where it's sinking. The boat is sinking, and it's sinking fast, and men are simply just going about their way. You know what men have done? They got a life raft and they're out. They're out. It used to be where we were all on the Titanic. We were all like, kumbaya. I trust you. Let's get married. Let's do this. Right? I know she's not going to fleece me. I know she's going to be diligent. She's going to stay the same. She's not going to take my child and run to Chicago somewhere. Okay. She's going to try to be loyal. She's going to do what she can. She's not going to have Facebook, Instagram, and do all these silly things without my knowledge. But now a lot of men are waking up. So the result is men are jumping on the life raft and they're gone to safety. Some men brought their own yachts and their own boats, and they're leaving while the Titanic is sinking. And the Titanic is full of the 80% of women who have been chasing the 90% of men. And when they're done doing that, when they're done being used, when they're done messing around with the basketball players, football players, famous people, singers, rappers, millionaires, all that, and they transform to be 42, 50 something years old. Yeah, they get that old. And they talk about, okay, let me go find me a good man. Let me find me a good man somewhere who's going to take my leftovers, who's going to listen. This Chevy Cavalier years ago used to be $25,000 brand new. I think it was, depending on how old it was. Not the newer Chevy Cavaliers, not the old ones, like 92 or something like that. Okay. It used to be like $25,000 brand new. But you know what? Now that they have 230,000 miles on the tachometer and it's been used and rusted up, I'm still going to try to sell it for $25,000. And men are like, are you out of your God-loving mind? You know what? I'm going to go over there and I'm going to take that Prius over there, because at least the Prius have low mileage. At least the Prius is brand new. At least it may not be high quality. It may not be all that. It may not be all that great. But guess what? I know for damn sure when I get in this car, I can take this car from probably New York City all the way over there to California, and I'm good for it. I'm not taking you. I may ride you around to the grocery store without nobody looking. You are embarrassing me. Loud muffler, engine ticking, oil spots overheating. This dude's like, no, yeah, I'll drive you over there around the street. We can go for a block or something like that. I'll take you to go, my goodness. Yeah, I'll load it up to bring some baggage over there to somebody else's house or something, or use it to haul something, a box or two maybe in the back. But to take you all over to Chicago, forget it. Forget it. And a lot of them are going to be sitting there while the Titanic is sinking. And guess what? Guess what? All the shaming language is going to come through. Oh, you guys are just betas. You guys hate women. You scared of women. You don't want to be with us. You can't handle me. Oh, okay. They just can't handle me because I'm so headstrong and I got a PhD. So they just don't want to be with me because I'm intimidating. I'm intimidating him. I'm a Chevy Cavalier with 330 miles on my speedometer. I am intimidating the buyer. Does that really make sense? This guy can go and buy a Lamborghini. He can go buy a Lamborghini or the new Corvette. He can go buy a Ford GT, but yet you're going to say that guy who can afford a Ford GT is intimidated that you are a old busted 230 mile speedometer driven warped out Chevy Cavalier. He's intimidated. Oh, so the Lamborghini is intimidated of your Cavalier. The Koenigsegg is intimidated for your busted up high mileage 4-cylinder engine. You need a donkey hat and to wear it for the rest of your life because there's no man going to be there to put anything on your ring. So anything significant to give you any type of entitlement would be the donkey hat for you, Mel. No. Some of you are not going to like this. And when I was a kid, I was a little worried about saying this, but I'm going to say this because now I'm an adult. I put my childish toys away. God is very, 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 very slow. So if you're talking about finding a soulmate, which there is a possibility, I made an audio on this before. You may be able to be that lucky person to have a soulmate. You may be that 1 out of a billion to get a soulmate, but it will require filtering the 99% of the rotten apples, worthless rotten apples that you can't even recycle for any damn thing, okay, in order to find this person. Because if he's talking about, and some of you say, oh, just don't chase her, just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just be on your grind. Well, okay, when you're doing that, you better be ready because when you get your life in order, those 80% of women are going to come rushing in your direction, and a lot of them are going to claim that they are the one. A lot of them are going to claim that they love you, that they respect you, and that you are so adorable, that you are the greatest in the world. The 80% of them are going to be choosing you for 90% of the wrong reason. 90% of the wrong reasons. Because they just feel like it and because they just want to survive. So they need you to be their financial backup plan. They need you to depend on. They need you to covet them, to put them in a house and a home. But in the midst of that, if you're talking about a soulmate, if she's possibly to be somewhere in the midst of it, you're going to have to be man enough to find out where this girl is. Don't be a senseless emotionalized individual like this pastor talking about, well, I asked God. How you're supposed to be a man. You're going to ask God who your soulmate is. You don't think for yourself. You got all the information you need. What I tell you before, you people have all the information you need. There is no excuse to understand this person who's proper in your life. But yet you need dating code. You need people to tell you who your soulmate might be. What the hell is wrong with you? You are your problem. That's what's wrong with you. That's what's wrong. Never in my life have I ever needed somebody to tell me, oh, Morpheus, if you do this, your soulmate's going to come and your soulmate's going to look like this. Your soulmate's going to act like that. No, I know what she would be. I know what she will be. And I know what she will not be. But a lot of you, apparently you don't know. Apparently you get a couple of $1 million in your back pocket. You go out there smelling roses. You allow all these 80% come to you. And you just select them because they got a pretty face. They can still be 23 years old and be your assassin because they're 23 years old. And they know that's the best way to get you and take you down. Because you have no control over yourself or your own mind because you used to be in a sheep. Letting people guide you around the whole damn place. This is crucial when I tell you to know yourself. This is, I really do expect for you to go to those audios and listen. And these aren't the newest audio. I'm talking about go to the beginning, go to the new ones, go down there where I begin to talk about rising above, getting past your failures and your weaknesses and seeing the world for what it is. That's the whole point of me being called Morpheus. Once you're able to see the world for what it is, you know where you are. You know your own capability. You don't need anybody to try to figure this thing out for you. You know how to figure it out for yourself because you're the best version of yourself. I ain't gonna let somebody else tell you what it is. You don't know what it is? Huh? You need somebody to hold your hand? Huh, sweetheart? You may hold your hands. Anyhow, the three things to talk about was chemistry, connection, and to be whole. Duh. I mean, this is that kindergarten stuff he's talking about. But who's sitting in the crowd again, being emotionalized? Oh, I got a soulmate. I'm 40 years old. I'm like 350 pounds, and I got 5 kids, and I got some type of package that's an itchy scratchy, and I'm going to find me a soulmate. God made me readily available for him. No, made you readily available for a desperate, broken, blue pill beta. So, in a nutshell, I want y'all to go ahead and look at that video, and it should be titled, I've Learned How to Program Sheep. All right, it should be like this. It's a good encouragement and a mentorship of how to guide the sheep in a direction, because it sounds good. It sounds great, and you can easily be emotionalized by this, especially if you are a so-called believer or you are a religious person. You're like, oh man, I believe in God and I just Okay, this video may be for you. You may go ahead because, sheep understand their own. So he does pretty good at guiding them in this direction, and a lot of them agree. Why are they getting emotionalized? Just going by his idea of what it is, through his anthropomorphic idea of what God is. And God has a directive. God is smart. God is this. God is that. Oh, so it's all in the hands of God. God's just waiting for you type of ordeal where you feel somewhat convicted that maybe you need to line up. No, people aren't doing that anymore. Because most times they're not a soulmate anyway. They're ill proper. So take a look at that. It's a good example of how the church or even the pastors know how to speak to you, how easy it is. It's almost like you can drink good whiskey and it's not so strong when it goes down, but it still gets you drunk faster. As a matter of fact, some of the most dangerous drinks is those which you can just drink it and it doesn't burn your throat. It don't taste all that bad, but it gets you messed up in a matter of a few minutes. You take one swig of it, you almost feel tipsy. That's what the conversation is like. And the way it happens, again, is to emotionalize you by things that most people want. A lot of people want a little bit of loving or a companion or somebody who's going to help them out of the situation. So a lot of 30-year-old and up women are looking for a savior. They're looking for somebody to tell them that they have the ability to find them a companion. They're looking for someone who's going to pull them out of the water from the Titanic while they're floating and the Titanic is already nearly submerged in the water. So you got this guy talking about, well, I believe in soulmates, and to get a soulmate and you just got to be the best version. Yeah, they think to be the best version of themselves is to go get a PhD. They ignored their soulmate so many years ago in their 20s. If they didn't get married by the age of 32, 33, something's wrong with them. They're not compatible, or simply they're not a soulmate to nobody else. How are you going to make yourself a soulmate to somebody and you got all this baggage? You've been ignoring them your whole life, and then you expect for them to come into your life just because God chose them to be there. It doesn't work like that. You're still going to be just at a loss. Take your L, go sit yourself down somewhere in the corner and just deal with your cats and your dogs for the rest of your life. This may not be a prosperity teaching preacher, but it's still an emotionalized preacher, especially when you try to back it up and put God in it. God have nothing to do with this, nor an audacity to say God is a he and he's a genius and he's responsible and he knows at the right time. It's not up to you, it's up to God. If that's the case, all us men will be married. Most of us men will have a companion. Most of us men would have exactly the Eve that we've been looking for. We just don't accept a lie. Now, his video was uploaded several years ago, so it's a no-brainer that you're going to get a lot of views in that amount of time. But it was at least 6.8 something million views on this particular video. So that lets you know that there's a lot of people who were attracted to it for the sake of him being a pastor and this title, Soulmates. How to find your soulmate. So these are people who are looking for some type of guidance, some type of information based on this dude. Me, on the other hand, when I first saw it, I was looking like, why am I looking at this thing? Besides looking for evidence to give unto you, to use this as an example, talking about how you can easily be deceived and how to train your sheep, basically. Okay. But when I first saw it, I'm like, these people are out of their mind. But of course, it came a good piece to give you a little example, to give you something to look at, to give you something else of a reference to understand that when I'm speaking to you, I'm coming from a place of knowledge where you should have the ability to break this stuff down yourself. If you get all the information that you are supposed to have already through my channel and others, you should have the ability to break this down when he's talking. From the beginning to the end, you should be sitting there talking, not allowing him to talk to you. While he's talking, you should be talking yourself like, nah, dude, you're wrong, dude. That makes no sense. Nah, this shouldn't be done like that. I don't know what you're talking about. This is senseless. No, if that's the case, right? Not sitting there saying, oh, yeah, you're right. Ooh, hallelujah. Ooh, he's right. Oh, yeah, I need to find me. No, that's what a feminized dude would do. No, that's for an emotionalized individual. And I can guarantee you probably at the time, he never knew anything about a red pill. The closest he ever got to a red pill was a Tylenol. That's it. But yet you're going to listen to a lecturer or some type of understanding from an individual like that. That's a joke. So do your just diligence. You have the video available for you. Take a look at it. And maybe there will be some sort of understanding that you might receive how a lot of the pastors are easy to make sheep out of individual people.